Have you ever asked for anyone's shirt?
While playing?
No, but at any time in your career, I mean, as a young player? Or...
Yeah, I did.
Who?
Ronaldo. R9,
The real Ronaldo?
The real one.
Oh,
Not
the
for
real
me.
one?
Yeah, growing up. Yeah.
He's a goal.
How many Ronaldo did you know when you were growing up?
No, only one. What I'm saying is to call him the real Ronaldo.
Yeah, always.
Now when we've got Ronaldo
in the
tomorrow.
game, people will say the real one. Cristiano. Ronaldo is R9. Cristiano is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronaldo Nazario is a legendary player. In his prime, he had blistering pace, ruthless finishing, along with trademark Brazilian flair and dribbling skill. On his day, he was unstoppable, making a mockery of some of the world's greatest defenders in his era, at a time where football was a lot more defensive than it is today. However, at the young age of 21, he suffered a devastating injury which changed the course of his career. He was described by many as one of football's greatest talents ever, even deemed by Jose Mourinho himself as the best player he had ever seen on a football pitch, and without injuries, he may have become the greatest player to grace the game. Unfortunately, we will never know the level R9 would have reached with good fortune, but we have seen the level Cristiano Ronaldo has reached. Winning his first of 5 Ballon d'Ors back in 2008, he has maintained his reign of terror on the sport, being one of the best players in the world for over 15 years at this point, and with his rumoured transfer to Chelsea, despite his advanced age of 37, it doesn't look like he's taking his foot off the gas anytime soon. He is arguably the greatest player of all time, widely regarded by modern media as one of the 2 greatest players to ever live, and it is because of his longevity, legacy and consistency, I feel he has surpassed Ronaldo R9 and has earned the right to be regarded as the real Ronaldo. R9, what was and what could have been. In life, there are many what could have beens or what should have beens, but the unfortunate and harsh reality of life is, in the history books, the only thing that matters is what has been. It's sad, and it is a testament to what was R9's insanely high potential, that despite the fact his prime years was cut short in his early 20s due to injury, he is still recognised as an all-time great, primarily due to his performances at a very young age. Before the knee injuries affected his athletic ability, he was one of the greatest dribblers of all time, frequently beating 3 or 4 players before finding himself in his. At 20 years of age, he scored 47 goals in a single season for Barcelona, with 49 games played, winning the UEFA Cup, Spanish Super Cup and Copa del Rey, earning him the title of the youngest Ballon d'Or winner in history, an unprecedented season at their age. To put things into perspective for the younger generation, Messi in his 2007-8 season at 20 years of age scored 16 goals with 40 games played, whilst Cristiano in his 2004-05 season at 20 years of age scored a mere 9 goals with 50 games played. To be fair to Cristiano though, he was a winger at this point of his career before he transitioned to a striker, but still, I think it serves as a good comparison to display just how much of a monster young R9 was in his prime, and really does beg the question, how good could he have been? If he was consistent like Cristiano for 10 straight seasons, there is a very good chance he could have become the greatest player we had ever seen, even leading his country to World Cup glory with a record 8 goals in the 2002 tournament. A performance reigniting his brilliance after his infamous injury, earning him his 2nd Ballon d'Or, despite missing the entire 2000-2001 season due to injury. Injuries aside though, achieving that level of consistency requires a high amount of dedication, and R9's antics and reputation off the field for being a party boy dictates that his prime likely would not have lasted nearly as long. Youthful vigour can only carry you so far before you hit your mid-20s and you are not young anymore. This is especially the case with R9's playing style, which requires a high level of athleticism, not only through displaying solid strength and blistering speed in his dribbling, requiring him to take care of his body and consistent work in the gym to maintain these attributes in the long run, but also how his playing style takes a toll on the body. Changing directions and stopping harshly with the ball to beat defenders, along with performing stepovers at breakneck speed, puts a huge amount of stress on your muscles and requires time devoted in the gym, building those muscles to ensure the body is strong enough to endure playing at such a high intensity, or else eventually it will break down. And I think that's what we saw with R9, with his worst injury taking place literally via returning from surgery, whilst performing a stepover running with pace. He also notoriously gained a lot of weight during his time at Real Madrid, granting him the crude nickname the Fat Ronaldo. Showing a lack of devotion to his craft, his carelessness towards his fitness and physique was likely a factor in the injuries he unfortunately received. It's a shame too, Because if we are talking purely based on peak versus peak as individual players, you might have to edge R9 slightly over Cristiano. He was a true freak of nature, a one-man team at times, who based solely on sheer raw talent has a genuine shout for possibly one of the most gifted players we have ever seen on a football pitch. His major flaw is it only lasted for a short period of time at the top, with Barcelona, Inter and Real Madrid. Winning a World Cup, which is incredible, but only one league and 0 European Cups, or Champions Leagues as it is known today, over a span of 3 seasons that could be considered his peak. Whereas Cristiano's maintained goals, accolades and legacy through 15 plus years of greatness towers over R9's impact on the game, leading me to my next point. A short burst of dominance versus an extended legacy of greatness. Since joining United in 2003 at 18, Cristiano has spent almost 20 years at the top level of football. Even to this day at age 37, this season he has scored vital goals for United, saving their backside numerous times with last minute goals. Even looking like the best player in their side at times, despite his mature age, and literally was their best player over 10 years ago, and possibly the greatest United side of all time in the late 2000s. Securing the Champions League and Premier League double in the 2008-2009 season, along with the glorious achievement of winning the Premier League 3 times in a row after 2 prior domestic triumphs. Still the record for most consecutive PL titles, recently joined this season with Man City. He was the main catalyst in all of these achievements, performing as one of the best players on the planet from his first league triumph from 2006 to 2007 for United, to winning the Ballon d'Or in 2008, all the way to the end of his stay at United at still the young age of 24, immortalising himself as one of the club's greatest players ever before his ascension to Real Madrid in 2009. This fragment of Cristiano's career topples R9's reign alone. You may even argue it only equals R9 due to the Brazilian's World Cup, but the next era of Cristiano's career utterly blows R9 out of the water. I'm gonna make it short because every football fan and their granddad knows about Cristiano's prime at Real Madrid. Basically, he won 2 leagues, 4 Champions League and 5 Ballon d'Ors. That's it, the debate is over. There's nothing more that needs to be said. Even without taking into consideration he is probably the greatest player in the history of the world's biggest club, without considering the iconic early 2010 battles with Lionel Messi, going against the greatest club side of all time, with Jose and Pep at the helm as 2 of the greatest managers ever, in an era widely regarded by many as the peak of football, without considering that with the exception of his first season at Spain, 8 of his 9 seasons at Real Madrid he scored over 40 goals in each domestic campaign, without considering he has scored the most goals in history with 813 goals, almost doubling R9's tally with 414, and still counting in the most competitive league in the world, without considering his further achievements at Juventus and the fact that he is still one of the best players in the world nearly 20 years later since he arrived in England. At this point, Cristiano between the two is the real Ronaldo, clearly the superior player, and it's not even close, not even remotely a contest, so that's that. The truth is, most younger fans would likely agree with this take and the irrefutable evidence in Cristiano's favour, but I'll probably catch some heat by the older fans of the sport, and I think I know a prominent reason why. Nostalgia versus reality. One noticeable trait between opposing fans who feel R9 is better and those who feel Cristiano is better is commonly age difference, with fans of R9 more commonly 80s babies and older, whereas Cristiano fans are more commonly 90s babies and younger. It seems to me that much of the older generation is caught up in the nostalgia of their personal youth, watching R9 as a kid, copying his skills and goals against their friends in the playground, and the remembrance of R9's societal and cultural impact. Elements of R9's impact later generations too young to witness R9 at its prime might not have the context to understand. Furthermore, younger fans may have had the same feelings and experiences with Cristiano at his peak, further pushing their allegiance to the Portuguese. My point from this is, watching a player in your youth as a child or teenager, playing five-a-side on the school playground, or with your neighbours on the estate, mimicking that player and collecting football cards with your close friends who also love football installs a deeper connection to the player, opposed to watching the same player in your mid-20s or 30s, where you have a proper job, grown-up duties, and are too busy to play or even watch football at times. This specific period of your life is commonly regarded as your generation, and has a major influence on your life and experiences growing up. It is usually sentimental, represented and expressed in some way by individuals, and can also be applied to other forms of media such as music, film and television. I feel like many football fans of the older generation, even possibly Thierry Henry himself, who may be affected by this, are influenced emotionally due to this bond they feel towards R9, and disregard the logic and evidence that point in Cristiano's favour of being the superior player.
He's the goal. How many Ronaldo did you know when you were growing up?
It doesn't help that R9 arrived and made the name Ronaldo iconic within the footballing world first, as his initial impact lightly paints their personal idea of what the name Ronaldo represents in their mind.
Ronaldo is R9. Cristiano is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Era, where he had not yet surpassed the 9 and was nowhere near his peak. But at this point in Cristiano's career, with all he has achieved, I feel the nickname is inaccurate towards the Brazilian, and the nickname the OG Ronaldo is far more appropriate. I also believe as time passes with future generations, it is likely that Cristiano will be recognised as the real Ronaldo by fans of the sport. Final thoughts. Listen, R9 was an amazing player. I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way and think I'm saying he's rubbish, because he clearly is not. He is a footballing icon and one of the sport's most beloved players. However, in my opinion, he does not compare to Cristiano, due to the records he holds and pure longevity. To be completely honest, it could even be deemed disrespectful to Cristiano's sheer dedication to the sport, still at the level he is now due to 15 plus years of straight hard work. With more team trophies, individual trophies, becoming the highest goal scorer ever, and maintaining his place at the very top for the better part of 2 decades, Cristiano has earned the title and right to call himself the real Ronaldo, ahead of R9. Whew. This one might start some controversy, but hey, it is what it is. As always, thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to help my channel grow, and I'll see you in the next one.